Honey, I'm home. Thank God it's Friday. This was my usual call when I entered the house at the end of the week. I'm in the bedroom. This was an unusual answer. I walked up to our bedroom and saw her finishing up putting the finishing touches on her makeup. She wasn't wearing the most modest makeup in the world. She was stunning. I'm leaving tonight. I have a date with Jason Hebert. Don't wait for me. I won't be back until tomorrow, she said, as if it was the most natural thing in the world. Okay, have a nice date, I said, almost cheerfully as I walked downstairs. I caught a glimpse of her stunned reflection in the mirror. I went to the refrigerator to grab a beer, and in a flash she was gone without even saying goodbye. You see, this was not a surprise to me. Everything went exactly as I expected. My wife is a woman of habits. She more or less always does the same thing, reacts the same way to certain events. So, her strange behavior over the previous 3 weeks had raised alarm bells in my mind. One night, 2 days before the date, I waited until she fell asleep, and after some arguing, I was finally able to find the password to her phone and answers to my questions. She had been planning this date with her asshole coworker for over 2 weeks. They planned to have dinner at Theodorakis, her favorite Greek restaurant. She praised their lemon soup, avgolemono asshole. And then they would go dancing and end the night at a hotel where she would expose her ass to him. I loved bringing my wife to Theodorakis, but she didn't know that it was also my favorite place to dine and wine my clients. And she couldn't know that over the years, Theo had become a good friend of mine. It took me several hours to come up with a good plan. In the morning, I called Theo and explained my situation. He was shocked by my wife's blatant disrespect, but couldn't stop laughing at my plan. That evening, a few minutes after my wife left, I drove to Theodorakis and snuck in through the service entrance with my secret ingredients to help Theo prepare an unforgettable dinner for my wife and the jerk. As expected, my wife ordered Theo's famous avgolemono. She couldn't stop praising her favorite dish, savoring every bite. I was glad she didn't notice my special spices. About half an hour after she finished her soup, she excused herself and went to the toilet. Hebert waited. And I waited. And I waited. She returned, profusely apologizing, then returned to the toilet, running around like crazy. And Hebert began to wait again. At first, Theo was skeptical that my plan to make my wife's dish would actually work. But after my wife spent half an hour on the toilet, he had to admit that the proof was in the soup. A few grams of magnesium citrate would be ideal mixed with lemon soup and would cause explosive diarrhea within 30-60 minutes. I also added some polyethylene glycol and some senna to prolong her pleasure. It would be a perfect night for sexy games. I drove home, put most of my clothes and a few items in the car, and went back to wait for her to return. She came at 2 a.m. and ran to the toilet. I was sitting in the living room when she came out 20 minutes later. So, how was your evening? I hope you managed to blow off some steam, I chuckled. Are you laughing at me? She screamed. No shit. Oh, sorry. So, how long has something been working for you? More laughter. I know you're angry, Eric. Let me just explain. Keep going. Give it your all. I laughed at my own jokes. She doesn't. Oh, by the way, here are the divorce papers. You treated our marriage like crap. Why don't we flush it down the drain like everything else? What the fuck, Eric? I don't want a divorce. Oh, damn. I have to go again. Stop talking nonsensey, Helen. I added, laughing. We're done. I stood up and headed towards the front door. I can't stay here. It stinks. Don't forget to turn on the fan when you're done. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.